follow-up on our recent ride on this machine, the Triumph Tiger Cub, where everything seemed a lot happier with life than it did previously. I've decided that I'd change the oil, and I've drained the oil tank, but I've also taken the crankcase scavenge filter out, and this is always a good indicator of what's going on in the engine and what sort of condition it might be in. And this is it as removed. Hopefully we'll go up to the light here and see it's actually spotlessly clean. And sometimes you get a bit of dirt on these, you know, odd bits of old gasket material, sealant and whatever, and even if you see things like that, that's fine, but what you don't want to see is any particles of metal there. And there's absolutely nothing on this one, spotless. So that tells me that things inside the engine are in very good shape, and there's nothing wearing out or going wrong. And we'll put some fresh oil in it now, and it should probably be happy to continue life like that for some time to come. Another thing, going back to that slight splutter we had when we joined the main road coming out the junction after coming down a hill from Llansadden, and I switched the lights off to get it running properly again momentarily. I think another thing we were up against there, which I've had on my own 6-volt equipped Tiger Cub, is when you come down a long hill like that, you're throttled off, perhaps not using the revs as much as if you were on the flat or going up a hill, and on top of that you got the rear brake on as well, or probably, and in the case of me there coming down to the junction, I had the back brake on. Obviously the revs were very low, I was changing down through the gears and coming to a stop, and I think with the headlamp on, tail lamp on and the brake light on and the low revs combined, it was just enough to give us a bit of a splutter for a while. We probably wouldn't have experienced that had we had the original points ignition on it, but there's a boiler on this one, and perhaps the voltage just dropped enough to upset that a little bit, and after a few seconds with the lights switched off, I was able to switch them back on again and carry on as normal. So I think the charging is generally holding the fort. I don't think it's going to plunge anyone into darkness, but it's another little thing to be aware of, is how the timing gets affected, subject to the available voltage on these electronic ignitions. But overall I was happy with the way that this ran, and dropping the oil and seeing that crankcase suction filter has just sort of satisfied me that everything really is okay with this, and it's ready to go.